What is happening, guys? Cowboy here, and today we're going to talk about building a successful arsenal in Phantom Dust. So with the game finally being re-released for Xbox and Windows 10, a lot of people are picking it up, and the number one question I see is regarding how to build an arsenal. So today I'm going to go into a couple of my arsenals, kind of give you an idea of the approach I take to building one, and then we're going to actually build one in this video and test it to see how effective it is. So if you're new to the channel and you're wondering why the hell you should listen to anything I'm about to say, if we hop over to the scoreboard and go to the global ratings, as you can see, I'm currently ranked 4th in the world, so I know what I'm talking about. Anyway, into the lab we go. So, the first thing I want to touch on is, when it comes to building arsenals, I think the number one mistake a lot of players make is they want to make an arsenal that's overly versatile. And, you know, it's good to have something that can handle a lot of situations, you know, a jack of all trades, if you will, but the full phrase is a jack of all trades, a king of none. And at the end of the day, without specializing, you end up losing out where you could be gaining. So, the point I'm trying to make here is that when it comes to building an arsenal, you should always have a central theme around that arsenal, something that you're looking to accomplish, and you want to build all your skills around that theme. So just as an example, we're going to run through a couple of these really quickly. So first up, we have a Vicious Balance deck. Now, the way this arsenal works is through using Vicious Balance. You keep all of your opponents down at a max level of 2. So to help facilitate this, all of our skills cost 2 or less. You know, pretty straightforward. Even our shields are cheap. We have Tiger Strength, which also costs 2, but it's going to buff our attacks. And the point is, we have an arsenal here that you lock your opponents out of higher cost moves. You force them down at that low level, especially like right around the start of the match if you can get one, when people, you know, right at the start, they try to get a lot of aura, they get 5 or 6, you hit them with a Vicious Balance, and then you just destroy the morale right there. They're like, shit, that was my start. So, moving on from there, take another look. Let's go to, let's talk about, here we go, we'll go Bravery. So, Bravery Decision is a pretty long-standing type of arsenal in Phantom Dust. There's 3 primary skills in the game: Excalibur, Cluster Bomb, and Railgun, and these skills, you have to have 7 or fewer skills left in your arsenal. They're all very powerful though. It costs 3, does 6 damage. It's super fast. Cluster Bomb costs 4, does 6 damage. Excalibur, one of the best swords in the game, costs 5, does 7 damage. But you have to have 7 or fewer skills. So to get these out, we put in some Bravery Decision. And the basic idea behind this deck is you get up to where you have enough aura to use Excalibur at 5, and then you pop Bravery Decision, flush all of these aura particles out of your deck, and then in basically 2 rotations you can start using these skills. So very early in the game you have powerhouse skills that are hitting for anywhere from 6 to 7 damage. Very easy to knock out your opponents. Let's talk more about kind of building your deck around that theme. So here's a fully themed deck that functions around using rain abilities. You know, we want to use Thunderstorm, Rain of Rocks, Firestorm. So let's look at rain. We want to build a rain deck. A couple things that we have to consider with the rain deck. Rain is easy to dodge unless someone's distracted. Usually you can just, you know, as long as you're moving at a decent pace, you can get out of the way of it. So to help counter that, we go with burdens. Pick up 3 burdens, reduce the target's movement speed. After they have 40% reduction, rain is going to hit. So right there we have a facilitator to make sure our rain's going to hit. We have a solid combo in the gravity press. It's a whole attack, so anytime an opponent goes down, we can use one of these for a quick 8 damage. And every single one of our rains has the capacity to knock somebody down. As long as you're doing more than 5 or more than 3 damage, you're knocking somebody down. So Rain of Rocks into Gravity Press, right there we're looking at 13. Thunderstorm into Gravity Press, we're looking at 13. Firestorm into Gravity Press, we're looking at 11. At the same time, with a rain type deck, what you want to do is basically box somebody in. So what do we do with that? We do sensor mines. The most common way for people to avoid mines is to walk up to them to get them to blow, and then quickly back away. Like basically just touch the tip of it and turn around. Well, if they turn around and a storm's coming down or Rain of Rocks is coming down, they're going to get hit by that, they're going to take damage. So they avoid the sensor mine, but at the same time they get hit by the 5 damage from Rain of Rocks. Or in a similar fashion, you know, just having these down in the path that you expect your opponent to take. When people are busy moving from rain type effects, they're not looking out for stuff like that, so they end up running into the mine, so it's easy damage. Aside from that, just in case they end up dodging the burdens, hey, we got some abnormal gravity. Just reduce everyone's movement speed. We're going to make sure my rain hits you. If that's not enough, let's do Dazzle. Scramble their buttons up. Make sure we hit them. So the point is, every skill in this deck is designed around facilitating my ability to use rain-style attacks on my enemies. So now that we've gone into that, let's actually jump into building a deck. One thing I want to touch on before we start is single school, dual school, and tri-skill arsenals. As you can see on the left side of the arsenals here, this one has like 2 dots, these two have 1 dot, this one has 3 dots, and that dictates the number of schools you can include in your arsenal between psychic, optic, nature, faith, and then key. Now it's important to note how many schools you're going to use in your arsenal, because these aren't all created equally. The single school arsenal, while it limits you to 1 school, has passively higher aura rate. Basically, you're going to get aura back faster with a single school deck than you will with a 3 school deck. So keep that in mind. Always have the appropriate arsenal type for what you're going for. So, with that being said, let's jump in and we're going to build an arsenal that is long-range focused around lasers. So, I want to do lasers. That's my game plan here. Lasers is what I want. So we're going to go slide laser. That's going to be our base move here. Costs 2, does 2, arcs around, so it's good at hitting people. Sounds good. We're going to want to toss in... We're going to toss in an octo laser, just because 8 lasers simultaneously, awesome move when it does hit. Albeit that is kind of rare. It's a cool move when you pull it off. Outside of that, there's ricochet laser, but this is kind of close range. Only really good in enclosed environments, but in an enclosed environment, it can do fairly well. Instead of that, though, we also have Photon Burst, which is equally as powerful, and if you have someone in a closed environment, that's going to tear them up. So while this does have the potential for 8 damage, this is a guaranteed 7. So we're going to go for Photon Burst. That's going to be our close range, basically forcing people away if they come up on us while we're using the laser decks. We want to keep them at long range, but we still want to have a safety option. Let's see, what else do we have in here? We don't want to do Gungar. The Parabola is just, actually, well, we might be able to work Gungar into this deck. Yeah, why not? We'll put in 1 Gungar just for shits and giggles. Let's see, what else? Killer Satellite, kind of easy to dodge. Decent rain attack, though, if you can catch people off guard. Let's put in a Blaster, so we have a medium range option. We could put in a Photon Wave, so we have a predecessor to Photon Burst. What else do we want? Triple lasers, not bad. It has the potential to do 3 damage. But at the end of the day, I think slide laser is going to be more effective. Slide laser will consistently hit for 2, whereas triple laser, the only real benefit we're going to get out of that is the 1 laser that's coming from above. Let's see, total aura on the battlefield. Bundled laser, it's a single use, we don't really want it. Now we're going to really go for blades, though laser blade is a decent ability. Charged particle is nice, but we want to really retain our levels with this, so we're not going to go for that. Same with like stuff like rapid cannon. Double lasers, not really worth it. I feel slide laser is going to be superior to it. And we could do, well, regular laser is also an arc, but we got slide laser, so I don't really think we need a 1-1 here. Vibration laser, however, we'll put 2 of those in, because as soon as we hit the 10 level, that replaces slide laser for us. It does the exact same thing, except does more damage. So now we got our lasers, we got our attacks, we're all set. We got a medium range, we got a close range if they come up on us. Let's look into some things that's going to help facilitate making sure we land these attacks. So the most obvious one, first up, acquisition. Increasing our homing accuracy is going to make those slide lasers really swing right in and hit our target. Same with the vibration lasers, same with the octa lasers, especially with something like Gungar, which is going to go in a parabola. This thing will turn and bend like 6 different times with acquisition. Blaster will also be a lot more accurate. So acquisition is going to help everything in our kit, with the exception of Photon Burst and Photon Wave, which are close range kind of safe moves. Some of these moves are expensive. Easy thing to work into a deck like this is going to be optimization. Let's toss in 2. Only costs 5. I get this out, reduces the cost of skills by 50%. That means I'm chucking out octa lasers at a cost of 4 and slide lasers at a cost of 1. Something like vibration laser, I think that might actually go down to 0 if I remember correctly. So what else are we missing here? Let's see. Confusion gas, shatter, crush. Don't think we need any of those. Interference, eliminate, evaporate. Don't need any of this stuff. No, don't need quantum decay. or disintegrate. Let's look at the status effects. Not going to need freeze gas. Not going to really need burden here. We already got acquisition. Let's work a levitate in. You can cast everything in this kit with the exception of blaster and Gungar. We can cast during levitation. So if somebody's hiding somewhere, levitate might get us up just that extra little bit to pop them off. We can toss in a dazzle, just because dazzle's a solid skill and it works with the school we're going for. And let's go for some defense. So we're going to be doing primarily long range, and we're going to win the long range battle. So we want stuff that's going to protect us from the close range if people come up. Pretty standard here. We could go for Psycho Wall or Psycho Shell. Psycho Wall at the 8, solid choice. If somebody really wants to play the long-range battle with us, we'll toss a reverse into the deck. Let's see what we got in the optics we could work in. We could do Photon Barrier, though it is vulnerable to Pierce. We got Reflect Mirror, which is a 4/4, but that basically serves the same exact purpose as Reverse, so I don't think we're going to need it. We could go for Paralyzed Barrier, because why the hell not? If we end up blocking something that's far enough away, we can instead go in and counter with some lasers. So right now what we're looking at, we got 11 aura in this deck, which isn't bad. You usually want to have at least 10 aura in a deck. We got 2 optimizations, a little bit of utility with Dazzle and Levitate, good lock-on, some early game with Slide Lasers, some late game through Vibration Blaster, Photon Burst, Octolaser, Gungar, Photon Wave Blaster, and Slide Lasers takes care of the early game. I think this is pretty much set for now. So this is going to be the initial build for this arsenal. So now we're going to go on over to the scoreboard. Just go to global or friends or whatever the case is. Just fight yourself. I mean, you can fight whoever the hell you want, but we're going to fight ourselves for the purpose of this video. Alright. So we got a nice long-range matchup here. I'm going to pick up acquisition. Octolaser's already down. Photon Wave's down. And my clone is already being very aggressive. Looks like he's playing the 0 aura deck. Go through to sacrifice some skills. So already one of the first things I'm noticing here is immediately off the bat I feel dry on aura. So we're going to give it a little bit. If I don't get aura in this next set, I'm going to have to end up swapping up, and there we go. We got 2 aura. Let's go ahead and outrange that. We'll pop the acquisition. We'll grab Octolaser now that we have 4, even though we can't use it yet. As soon as we get an optimization out, we'll be able to. So our aura level's getting up. We're in our safe zone now. But we still haven't seen our early skills yet. So right now, we still have a very defensive game. The only thing we can really do is pop reverses. I could Photon Burst if I want to be aggressive. But we're getting our acquisition built up. We'll send one of those back at him. Paralyze him since he's so insistent on using that over and over. We're going to get rid of that. Pick up Gungar. We got Levitate here. And here's what I want. So we're going to grab this, put this down. Barely clipping that bridge. So we need a way to get past that bridge. That's where our Levitate's going to come in. Might be able to slide this under. Really see the acquisition paying off here. We got... Oh, well, we beat him already. So we're going to fight one more person. We're going to tweak our deck a little bit. It's a silly deck to fight against. Some decks don't work well with bots playing them. So let's go back and edit our arsenal here. So looking at the arsenal, things that didn't happen that I wanted to happen. I didn't feel a very good early game. You know, I didn't see Slide Laser early enough. So we're going to get rid of Photon Wave. I feel like that wasn't necessary at all. I was liking Paralyzed Barrier more than I was liking Reverse. So we're going to replace Reverse with our Paralyzed Barrier. And then we're going to get rid of one Vibration Laser, I think. Alright, so we've made a couple tweaks. Let's go in. And we'll hop back and we'll fight somebody else. Alright, real strong aura start here. Which is good. So already, just those couple tweaks. And given there's always going to be a little bit of kind of RNG to it, a much stronger start. And we do have 2 more aura in than we had before. And that's kind of showing. So already building our level up. Now we got a Slide Laser. We can start our early game harassment. This person's gonna, well, I mean, given it's a bot, this is probably about the time a person would come up and try to do an early aggression. Bot's gonna back off. I don't know, the bot's confused, I guess. Let's go make his decision for him. Go away. And already, I'm going to start the aggression up real early here. So we got 1 aura down. We're going to go ahead and get rid of our Slide Laser in a second. We got Vibration Laser on deck. As I mentioned, same thing as Slide Laser, except stronger. So we're going to go ahead and replace our Slide Laser. We're looking for just 1 more here. We're going to bait him in. End up shattering the shield. That's exactly why we have Photon Burst in a situation like this. Is, you know, people see that you're running a long range deck. They're going to run up. They think they're going to harass you with swords, with kicks, whatever the case is. And a Photon Burst is a very big message saying, get the hell away from me, I will murder you. So let's try some Gungar with Acquisition. Let's see if this will land. 7 damage Gungar, very nice. And Acquisition definitely makes a big difference in how effective this ability is going to be. You can see there, he went out of range. Completely whiffed. And now the long-range harassment begins. And at this point, it's really just waiting for your opponent to make a mistake. And he's down. So, all in all, between this match and the last match, given we fought, I don't know, we fought a different person, I think that actually performed a little bit better than my my zero level deck. But you know, as we saw there, going back over into the lab, looking at the arsenal again, just changing it up a little bit, just adding in a couple more aura particles, removing out some of the other stuff. You know, we had the Paralyzed Barrier up faster, which was a cost of 4 versus the Reverse, which was at a cost of 5. You know, we got to see the Acquisition work together with Gungar early on for a quick 7 damage, and we had the early harassment going on from Slide Laser. And that's really all there is to it. You know, you want to take your arsenal, build it on out, test it. The bots are actually fairly intelligent. Like, the bots will kill you if you play sloppy, so they're decent to test your arsenals against. And then the biggest thing going in and testing against a bot is going to be testing the flow of your arsenal. Are you getting enough aura fast enough? Are you getting your skills fast enough? Are you seeing what you want to come out within a decent amount of time? And as soon as you get the arsenal to the point where you feel you're comfortable with it, then take it in, play it against some people, see how it feels, and adjust. That's the #1 thing. You want to build and adjust and build and adjust, and then after a couple of games, usually about 3 to 4, that's when you'll get your arsenal to the point where you're like, okay, this is where I want this to be. You know, I have my weaknesses covered. I have, you know, I'm playing long range. I have some nice close range if people run up on me. I have this to make me cast my big spells faster. You know, I have this to increase my homing. I have lots of synergy. And then, you know, you have an arsenal that you're ready to compete with. So either way, that's going to wrap up the video, guys. You know, if you have any questions related to Phantom Dust in general, or more specifically arsenals, just leave a comment down below, and I'll do my best to answer it. And with that being said, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Pick up the game, and we'll see you there.